I'm a mother of 3, grandmother of 4 now, which I absolutely love. I grew up in a really conservative Christian home, and so being a part of the church has been a huge part of my life. Had some church trauma with growing up in that environment and being gay, and stepped away from the church for quite a while, and then came back to it when my kids were really little, because I wanted to make sure that was important to me, that they grow up in the church. Married for almost 10 years now to an absolutely fabulous woman who's just the kindest person I've ever known in my life. So I love that. I love that my kids get to experience that and see that, and our grandkids get to see what I feel like a good, healthy relationship is about. And so I love that.
You guys have some of the prettiest wedding pictures I've ever seen.
Oh, thanks. It was an amazing wedding. It was just, it was fun and laughter and tears, and I loved that there were things about it that she incorporated, and things about it that I incorporated, and so it was a really good balance of both of us. And I love that, and plus, just all of our wonderful friends and family that were there. So I'm retired for about 6 years now. I worked at the federal prison, and before that I worked at a state penitentiary. Before that I was in the Air Force. I was a police officer in the Air Force, so I spent pretty much my adult life in some type of law enforcement. And you get involved in a lot of really interesting situations when you work at a prison. I tell people, some days I went home and felt like it was a normal job, and then some days I went home and thought, man, they do not pay me enough to do this job. So it was a mix.
I love it.
Yeah.
How did you find Unity of Springfield?
It was so interesting. I had just left the church that I had been a part of for 10 years, and under some really struggling circumstances, and didn't have any idea what I'd done. I'd also left a 20-year relationship and about 8 months earlier, and I started dating this woman online, and she was from Austin, Texas. And I had talked to her about all of this that had happened with the other church, and said, I don't know what I'm going to do. And she said, there's a Unity church there in Springfield. And she said, you might think about just going, and they have a Wednesday night renewal service. You might go and see what you think of it. And I walked in the side door of the sanctuary and sat in the very back and just sobbed through the entire service. And I think it's so funny, because that is so many people's stories, the same story. And I came in, sat in the very back, sobbed through the entire service, and thought, I'm home. This is it.
What is one of your favorite principles or philosophies or teachings of Unity?
One of my favorite teachings of Unity is that you are enough. Having grown up in a fundamental church where you were never going to be good enough for God, especially being gay, you were absolutely never going to be good enough for God. And coming here and hearing, you're not born in original sin, you're born in original blessing. You are not sinful. You have just forgotten who you are. That.
Absolutely, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, who is a woman who's had big influence on you or is a role model?
Oh, somebody who's a female who's a role model. Here in the church?
Just in general?
Just anyone? Sue. I mean, Sue has, watching her authenticity has allowed me to be more authentic and vulnerable and show that vulnerability. Of course, my wife, Sue, her ability to just be kindness and not think about whether someone is deserving of kindness. She's just kind because that's who she is, and has really helped me to incorporate that in my own life and just be kind. And Lisa, my gosh, Lisa she inspires me all the time to take steps and do scary things because she just does them, and
the two of you make a formidable team.
we are. I tell you what, between her and Amy, because Amy is that person who is just that quiet strength, and like I said, her ability to think outside the box and be able to look at things from a different perspective has really helped me to be able to do that as well.
That's great. So, why should someone come to this Unity?
Oh wow! It's interesting. I've had guests come from other Unities. The woman that I dated went to the Unity Church in Austin, and she came up and visited, and she said, "This place is special. This place, I'm not sure you realize just how special this is. The energy in this place is not something that you see at every Unity Church that you go to. The inclusion that we have at this church, and it is. I mean, this church is special. It's welcoming, and the kindness that you feel, and that people's ability to welcome whoever you are, wherever you are in your life, and just be able to welcome you in and say, you have a place here for as long as you want and as long as you need it. And if you're here and you stop in for a little bit and you get what you need and then you go on, we bless you on your way, and we don't care what you believe. Whether you're an atheist or an agnostic or a Buddhist, it doesn't matter. Whether you're a fundamental Christian, it's okay. Just know that that's not what we're going to teach. But you are absolutely welcome here, and we don't have any judgment against you.